What is there to talk about litter boxes? Well, as it turns out, there's quite a bit. So we're going to talk about the size of litter boxes, where you put them, do you cover them, how many do you need, and so much more, including automated litter boxes, self-cleaning. I'll tell you my thoughts on that as well. As far as litter boxes in general, I'm going to say it really depends a lot on your particular cat or cats. So I want to start by showing you my litter box. Well, not my litter box. It belongs to Callie and Max, but the litter box is in my home. I have two of them. Why two? Well, I have two cats. Conventional wisdom says you should have one more litter box than the number of cats that you have. So if you have one cat, two litter boxes. Two cats, three litter boxes, and so on. I personally think that's a little bit of overkill. A lot of it depends on how often you're going to clean your box. And I hope you clean that litter box every single day. My wife always liked to clean it first thing in the morning. I tend to like to clean it last thing I do at the end of the day. Before I go to bed, I like to clean that litter box. And I find by morning, they really haven't used it a lot anyway. So my personal preference, but you should be cleaning that litter box at least once every single day. So what about self-cleaning? Hang on, we'll get to that. How big should a litter box be? My litter box is, I think it's the perfect litter box. It's pretty good size, maybe a little bigger than you really need. It's 17 inches wide. It's about 22 inches long. I love the shape of it because there are no deep corners. If there's no deep corners, it means there's no place for things to hide. And by things, I'm primarily talking about the urine. I use clumping litter, and it doesn't get stuck in the corners because there are no hard corners. So when you buy a litter box, I would look for something sort of like mine. I like to think of this as being egg-shaped. But what it does is it makes it so much easier to clean because there are no corners in order for things to get stuck or hide from you. And it just cleans out really well with a traditional scoop, the type that has kind of like the rake, the holes in it. Works really, really well. I think most people today do use clumping litter. If you don't, that's fine. However, I think that means you have to be aware of changing that litter out far more often. I use clumping litter. I get it from Walmart. It comes in 9-pound bags and it comes 4 to a package. It's pretty heavy. It's 36, 38 pounds. I think it's 9.5, so it ends up being 38 pounds. But it's really nice because I rarely have to change the entire thing, meaning empty out all of the litter, clean the box, and then put new litter in. I don't do that very often. I would say every 3 to 6 months I do a complete clean. But if I scoop that every day and it's clumping, rarely does it need cleaning because I'm replenishing the litter. Litter, of course, is coming out when I scoop with the clumps, and nothing is really sitting in there as long as you do a thorough job with your scooping. Where do you put it? Well, there's an old saying, you don't, I'm going to clean this up, defecate where you eat. Do not put the litter box in an area where there's also their food. Separate them. It's the same type of courtesy that you would like. You wouldn't want to eat your fried chicken over the bathroom sink. So your cats don't either. Try to tuck it away in a place where it is away from food for the cats. Where I put in my house, I have a relatively small house. When I lived in Wisconsin, I had a big house and I was able to really tuck those away. One was in the basement, kind of far back in the basement where the cats could go, and it wasn't bothering anybody. And the other was in the laundry room. A lot of people put it in the laundry room. And in my house, I have a small house now down here in Florida. And there's sort of a breezeway that goes from the garage into the rest of the house, and that is where the laundry room is. And there is a closet there. And then I thought, do I always want what's in the closet to be exposed? So here's what we did. We put up a temporary shower curtain rod. It's a tension rod. It's held in place just by tension with springs. And we put that in there, and my wife sewed up a simple little curtain. The curtain's kind of tropical in keeping with the Florida motif, right? And it didn't have to be really decorative because it's just in that laundry room, that breezeway. But it is kind of nice because the bottom is open, cats can get in and out, and yet we're not constantly looking at things that are on the shelves. The other one is in the second bedroom, and it's off in the corner, and it's kind of out of the way. I guess if guests stay, so far it's always been family, and they didn't really care that there's a litter box in there. I could relocate it somewhere else if I wanted to. Cats are smart. Cats will find those litter boxes. You'll notice both of my litter boxes are a box inside a box. Do you have to do this? Absolutely not. Why do I do it? Because the previous cats I had were just messy. One, Abby, was the sweetest, prettiest little cat, but she was the messiest user of the litter box, and she would just kick litter everywhere. And I couldn't find a way to contain it. I put lids on it, covers, everything I could think of. Got something with a little opening, little hole, she would still kick it out. And finally I landed on this. I put the litter box inside another litter box. She would kick it out, but it would be contained in the second box. So what is this box? Where did I find a huge litter box? I've got this at the hardware store. Whatever is the hardware store in your area, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, it's used for mixing up cement. Perfect. I actually tried it as a litter box. I thought, well, if I make it bigger, they won't kick the sand out. They still did. I shouldn't say they, she did that. Sam had another problem. He would always wet toward the edge of the box. No matter how big the box was, would wet in the edge of the box. So sometimes it would go outside. He would just get in the middle, stand, and go. So I found that this solved both problems. It collected the excess litter, and if he urinated outside the box, it caught that. It wasn't going on the floor. Problem solved. And as a result, when they jump out of the box, sometimes litter jumps out with them, and very little litter comes out with them since I started doing the double box. I think it's overkill. I wouldn't expect anyone else to do it. It's just something I do. So how big does a litter box have to be? Surprisingly small. This 17 by 22 is a great size. I think the perfect size, but it can be a little smaller. In fact, a lot of the automated ones, the ones that have the rake that move across, are smaller. They're often about 12 inches wide, even narrower by maybe 15, 16 inches. And cats seem to do fine with them. I am not a fan of the automated litter box for a number of reasons. Let's start with the relationship you have with your cat. I just have a problem with doing everything you possibly can to avoid interaction with your cat. And I think that that's a give and take. You get a cat for a reason because you want that love, that companionship, that silliness. You want to play with them sometimes. And I just don't like it that people look at them like, a book on a shelf. You buy it, and then let's do everything we can to forget I have that cat. I'm going to get an automatic litter box. I'm going to get an automatic feeder. I'm going to get an automatic water bowl. That way I don't have to really pay attention to the cat if I don't want to, except when I feel like picking it up or petting it. They even have brushes that you put around the opening of a door that they go through so you can avoid even spending time brushing your cat. I find that offensive. And I think that at the very least, spend a little time, spend the 3 minutes it takes every day to clean out that box. You get to examine the box, look at it, make sure it's exactly as clean as you like it to be. Sometimes things that are automated we take for granted. And that rake comes across, it misses stuff, but we don't look at it, so we ignore it and we miss it. People also say, yeah, but I'd like it to be really clean every single day, then it doesn't smell. Well, first of all, you can still do that by cleaning it out yourself. However, that smell, people say you can use that box up to a month. And I have had people tell me, Mark, honest to God, I change it once a month, it doesn't smell. You got to remember, our cat's sense of smell is about 40 times stronger than ours. What if I told you, well, you're not going to have a bathroom. I'm going to give you one of those portable outhouses like they use at concerts and sports events. And you don't have to change that for an entire month. And then when a month comes, they'll come and clean it out. There's chemicals in there. It's great. You're going to think, well, I'm not going to do that. That's not sanitary. It's not clean. I do smell things when I go in there. Same thing with your cat. Give your cat the common courtesy to clean that thing out every single day. Now, does that mean you should not own and never own an automated cat litter box? No. And in fact, I just ordered one, which is what prompted me to make this video. So there are reasons. My reason is I'm alone now, and there might be times I'll want to go away for the weekend or for 2 to 4 days. Now, I would never leave my cats alone with an automated feeder, an automated water bowl, and an automated litter box. I would always have someone come in at least twice a day to check on them, give them some attention, feed them, clean out the water bowls, and give them fresh water. But I also want to make sure that there is a clean litter box. And sometimes people that are coming in do not pay attention the way I do. So I just think it would be nice if I hired someone or asked a friend to come in, if one of those things was taken care of, and I thought the litter box would be a nice thing. So I bought one. I'm going to try it out. I'll review it on this channel. Now, I have a friend. She has an automated litter box. Here's her reason. She says her cat is persnickety. If she goes in the box, she will not go again until the box is cleaned out. She'll sit there and meow, meow, meow until it gets cleaned out. I think if push came to shove, this sounds more like an owner excuse, but I'm going to take her at her word. All right, I can see that as being a reason. That is cleaned out every time the cat uses it, so it's cleaned out more often than she could do it herself. I'll give you that. But I still wouldn't want to leave that waste in a container for a week, 2 weeks, a month. I would clean it out more often. And that's what I'm going to do with my automated. I'm still going to try to tend to it every single day because I think my cats deserve it. What questions or comments do you have about litter boxes? Leave them down below. Do you have any interesting litter box stories? What do you use for a litter box? Do you disagree with me on anything? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts down below. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm Mark. I'll see you back here next time on the Cali Cat channel.